Hey! This actually just got released on MAME today, or a couple days ago. So I figured I'd do a little bonus for my fundraiser. Now, I haven't played this too much. I was actually at a convention in town today, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to game at home. Basically, the overseas version of this, I don't think there are actually any carts of it. It seems like it was just something that was included in the, you know, the cart for it. But what it does is it basically removes a lot of the grinding. I'm not an expert on this game by any means, but I've watched somebody play it on Twitch. So I kind of picked up a lot of it. So the Chinese version of the game and the Taiwanese version, pretty much all the other versions except the Japanese and overseas version, they have nice C cards so you can like save your stats and stuff. But the grind is pretty crazy and I just don't feel like playing that version. Obviously a game like this doesn't have much to read. It's mostly just being able to just play through the game in one sitting without all the grinding, is what the bonus is. There we go. It's a pretty execution-heavy game, and you actually get new moves as you level up. So normally it takes a long time to get your moves, I think, but on this version it basically just kind of expedites it. So I'll play a little longer. I'm not any good at this game at all, so it's not worth like doing the whole thing. But if you can get a hold of the new MAME version ROMs, you should have access to this at Knights of Valor 3. Now, Knights of Valor 3 does not seem to have the English version. It seems like they just never translated, even like hidden. So if you want to play the game in English, you're gonna have to use like a translator app on your phone or something. Now, Knights of Valor 3 actually does have quite a bit of reading compared to this, so it's quite a bit harder to play. So it has the turnaround cancels from some of the other IGS games.
换气。
So when you go on this crazy, like, I don't know, elemental zone or whatever, it will do have, like, random properties. Like, sometimes the boss will have more defense, or like right now, all my moves are sealed. So unlike most beat-em-ups, this kind of has more in common with like Streets of Fury. You know, that game is pretty execution heavy. If you can't combo well in that game, you're going to have a really difficult time. This game's a lot like that. Like, I don't even know what the bread and butters are, the optimal combos or anything. I'm kind of just learning as I go. And it definitely makes a huge difference. So this and Knights of Valor 3 are both from the same developer on the same hardware, and they're both like the last arcade beat-em-ups. There's supposed to be a new one from for Ninja Turtles from Raw Thrills, but most hardcore like arcade players, like people who do the 1cc attempts and stuff, like they know Raw Thrills is like the they're like the EA of arcade games. Like, they're everywhere, but it doesn't really mean that they're any good. There's actually a couple places in town, like pizza parlors and stuff, that have a lot of Raw Thrills games, so I imagine one of them will get that Ninja Turtles beat 'em up when it comes out. If I do find out that they have it, I'll sacrifice a couple dollars play a shitty beat 'em up for you guys. I have to, like, go with a friend or something and have them record with my phone. These like really long super moves are basically like single target. They're not like crowd control. Not like a Muso game. Where, you know, Muso game, like Muso attacks recently have had like really generous hitboxes. It doesn't work that way in this game. You have to be aligned with the enemy and hit them, otherwise it'll hit a mook instead. Ah, he went the wrong way. Like I said, still learning. So this game is like it's like a Korean MMO, like a Korean action MMO. If you play on the Chinese or the Taiwanese versions, like you have a card, like you could actually go to the arcade and save your progress on the card, and then come back later. So the game was very grindy to accommodate that, to keep people playing. But this version, which, as far as I know, from what I've heard, it was actually never actually released, or if it was released, it was in very limited quantities. There's no option for the card at all. So basically, what they did is they just made it so that you can be at a pretty high level right away. Like right there, I just learned a move. I imagine that will take far longer on the other version. So this version is apparently also easier too, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, I'm still struggling with it because I don't know the optimal combos or like what any of the items do. But I can definitely see it is easier because it's very difficult to 1cc this game if you play. Very difficult to 1cc this game if you play on the other version with the IR mode, but it is possible. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I'll probably do a full run of this later. Anyway, if you want to find out about the... Hold on, let me switch over here. Switch scenes here. In terms of the fundraiser, I actually will have just about enough for the Switch by itself, and I did manage to find a third-party controller, which I hear is pretty good. It's like on par with the Pro controller. I don't know if I'll be able to get a game, so that's why I'm going to keep the fundraiser running. Basically, Amazon Warehouse, like they get Switches of varying conditions. Right now, they have some up. I could afford it right now, but it would leave me pretty broke, and also it says that it has imperfections on the screen. I don't really care about that stuff. You know, if the console works, it's fine. The Vita that I'm using, the Vita that has the expensive capture card mod in it, that was actually a used Vita that I got from somebody off Craigslist, and it has imperfections all over it, and it still works fine. So I don't care about that, but the screen is in like perfect condition, so I don't really care about the other stuff. But I don't want to take a risk on a messed up screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until the 10th. On the 10th, I'm going to have about $75 coming from Curse. So even if I don't get a single other donation within the week of fundraising content that I'm going to be doing, I should be able to get a Switch from there, provided that they have one used. It's just I will not be able to get a game. So for that purpose, I'm going to leave the fundraiser open. I do not know if my friend is going to be able to get me Fire Emblem. They're busy with school, and they may have some other unforeseen expenses come up. So I'm not going to count on that. What I would like to get is probably Fire Emblem Muso if my friend is not able to get it. So I'm going to keep the fundraiser open. Probably next week I'll probably do Muso games, probably starting on Monday. I have enough Muso games to cover most of the week, and by then Dynasty Warriors 9 will be out in Japan. I'll probably have some impressions. I know Swillow, some of you may have come here from his video. He promoted my channel and my fundraiser, my PayPal and stuff. He's going to be getting the game in Japanese. I'm waiting to get the code from Koei Tecmo America. If they don't give it to me, then I should still be able to get it regardless. I do have a PC. It should be able to run the game at 60 FPS, so I'll make sure to get a port review out, and I'll also cover the game as well. Anyway, if you want to help me, my stuff's in the description. I'm probably going to take a break from the fundraiser tomorrow. We'll see how things go. But I will do at least 5 days of Muso games, since I do have enough content for that. Catch you guys later. Peace.